Right, hello everyone, welcome back to another Marvel Contest of Champions video. Today's video is going to be slightly different, slightly controversial perhaps. So I've made a tier list as of August 2023 now, as to where I think the certain champions are in each class. I think I've got every champion in each class down here. I think so. I should do. Anyway, so we're ranking in between like Beyond God tier and Meme tier. As you can see, like all the different ranks. So you got the Beyond God tier there, you got Meme tier there. This is literally just my opinion. You're more than welcome to voice your opinions in the comment section below. But please be respectful and not too harsh. Anyway, so this will be I'll put a link to it in the description below to this tier list. I'll try and update it monthly. We'll see if it gets updated. But yeah, I'll try. So we have the different classes right at the bottom. It's got Mutant, Science, Skill, Mystic, Tech, and Cosmic. So as far as the mutants go, I've put Colossus, Apocalypse, Kitty Pryde, Storm Pyramid X, Domino, Red Mags, Archangel, Professor X, Sunspot, and Gambit in Beyond God tier for now. Colossus just because of immunities and his damage. He doesn't. I don't think he needs to be awakened. The awakened ability is nice because he gets more damage and more armor ups, but he doesn't exactly need it. Apocalypse definitely needs synergies. He needs the cable synergy, so he can start with 4 persistent charges and then just be incredibly overpowered. Kitty Pryde doesn't really need to be awakened. She doesn't really need synergies either. Again, it's nice to have the awakened ability, but it's not needed. I only put like awakened if I think a champion needs awakening. And then I've got high sig, and then I've got the synergies. Those are like the different categories, I guess. Storm Pyramid X, I've been playing around with the 7-star version, and I know the 7-star is like I don't know, like it's not widely accessible, right? A 7-star Storm, not everyone's gonna have one. But I also played around with the 6-star one as well, and she's really really good. She doesn't need synergy, she doesn't need her awakened ability. She's just good off the bat. She's just a really good champion. We got Domino with synergies, of course. The Domino Trinity. We all know about that one. Red Mags, it's self-explanatory. Same with Archangel. Professor X has basically a complete like power control over the fight. He also has Falter, which is really annoying on defense. His medium attacks are non-contact attacks, like projectiles, and he gains prowess and his special attacks hit really hard. Same with Sunspot, his special attacks hit really hard. Same with Gambit, his special attacks hit really hard. As in, like, these three are like pretty much one-shot champs. If Professor X doesn't one-shot, right, he's going to 2-shot, basically, is what's going to happen with that special too. Red Mags is a one-shot. Archangel's just spam heavy. I was going to put Cable here, but I decided to put him in God tier because he needs synergies. And he's not as reliable, I feel, as Archangel. Just because Archangel can apply the neurotoxins on special attacks and things like that. He applies the poison on block, and then the bleed on the heavy attack, and then converts them to make a stronger debuff, a passive debuff as well. Whereas Cable's debuff is degen, it can be cleansed. He needs synergies to stack it up. He doesn't apply it on special attacks. So I've put him in God tier because he's still really really useful. He's still insane. So moving on to the God tier, then we got Iceman after his buff. He's very very good, especially with the frostbite damage. Is insane. Havoc still one shots with the special 3. He's still really really good. Same with Bishop. Omega Red's good with suicide masteries, but he's also like usable without them. He's still really really good champion to have. But you mainly want him against bleed matchups. But after the special 2. You'll still have that like death aura thing that he has. That I can't remember what it's called. The death field, I think it is, or something like that. And yeah, he still hits really hard. OG Storm, special attack damage. Same thing with Jubilee. Strife with synergies can get through a lot of content. His shock damage is really good. His burst damage off the heavy. He's got glancing. He's got invisibility. He's got Aegon-like mechanics. When he has 20%, not 20%, 20 persistent charges, he'll go permanently unblockable. And yeah, the more hits in his combo he does, the stronger he gets. Pretty much like Star-Lord and Aegon. So yeah, he's very, very useful. Doesn't need the Awakened ability, but it's nice to have. And you can use him for Labyrinth of Legends, Realm of Legends. I don't know about Abyss. I've not seen anyone use him in Abyss. Maybe Abyss is too long. You can also use him in end game content as well, like Act 6, 7 or 8. I guess Act 6 is still end game content for those that are... Because I think Cavalier still counts as end game, right? Although Thronebreaker and Paragon are out, I think it still classes as end game. Anyway, that's another discussion for like the comments, I guess. So we got Sauron here. Initially, I wasn't a great fan of Sauron. I kept him at rank 1 as a 6-star for ages. And then I got him as a 7-star, and I was like, he's alright. And then I used him a bit more. I learnt more about him, his rotation and things. You want to do as many light attacks as possible to build up your prowess to 10 stacks. And then just build up to a special 2 and chuck that off. If you want to, you can use a heavy attack to consume 3 prowess and get a fury passive for the duration of the special attack. When his prowess stack reaches 10, he puts a degen on the opponent. He goes unblockable when he's got 7 or more prowess effects. What else does he have? Also, his prowess acts... It's similar to Spider-Ham with his Porker Poppers. So once his prowess has reached 10 and expired, then they just count as 10 permanent prowess buffs. Right? They stay on him. So his special attacks his damage is just going to ramp up constantly. It's always going to keep ramping up. Obviously to a certain limit, but he gets stronger as the fight goes on, is my point. And then with Kitty Pryde, he has like I think a synergy where he applies a Incinerate on the special 1, or 3 Incinerates. He's got lifesteal mechanics after the special 1. He's got bonus damage after the special 2. His special 3 hits quite hard. So yeah, he's actually quite a good champion. He's got immunities, and some quite helpful resistances as well for certain nodes and champion matchups. Dani Moonstar, can't say I've used her too much, but from what I've seen, she hits really hard. If you use her right, she can phase through stuff as well, which is always helpful. And yeah, she's just a really useful champion to have. I've explained Cable. Toad is so annoying on defense. If you back him up against the wall when he's awakened, he's not dying, unless you move away from the wall, and even then, he's still going to have the regen, so he's just going to heal back up. If you're immune to the paralytic poison, I think he gains prowess instead. So if you get caught by a special attack, you're just dead. And then if you're not immune to the poison, obviously you get the paralytic poison. If you dash back, you can cleanse it. However, if you cleanse it by any other means, I think it turns into a passive paralytic poison. At 10 paralytic poison or 10 prowess, you will be stunned passively. There's nothing you can do about it. And yeah, the dude's insane. He's really, really useful. I don't think there's anyone underneath him though, not for that. So then we've got mid tier. So we got Emma Frost, can hit quite hard, but utility's a bit lacking. It's a shame she's only immune to debuffs while she's in the diamond phase. Because when she's out of it, she's vulnerable to all bleeds and poisons, all sorts. And you can break her out of the diamond phase pretty easily. Either by making sure she has a bar of power higher than you, or just applying an Arbor Break to her, and it would just absolutely, destroy her. The reason I've not put that she needs to be awakened is because she's good on offense, unawakened. But if she is awakened, she has the inverted controls and the special attacks for defense, which is very helpful. Captain Britain, I've used her a little bit. The only time I've really used her is Arena though, but she seems to gain quite a few buffs, especially Energize after the special 1. And she's a bit like Scarlet Witch in the sense that I think when she gets crits, she has a chance to gain certain buffs, like Unstoppable randomly in the middle of the fight. You get Energize. The more special attacks you throw off, the stronger they get as well. And yeah, she just has insane fight control. especially with the debuffs as well, because she puts like exhaustion, fatigue, stagger, and a few other debuffs on the opponent as well. And this is just on basic attacks after you use a special, so she's quite handy to have. Sabretooth has always been really good. You don't need synergies with him. It's nice to have a synergy, but that goes with all characters. And yeah, he just has a really high base damage output, which is obviously improved by his Fury gain. Passive Furies after the special attacks. And then obviously if you end the fight with a special 3, you carry over the Furies. Nightcrawler is surprisingly good, actually. He's good for defense, obviously, because of the evades and everything. It's very hard to get him into the swashbuckling phase when he is on defense, because he can just evade if you're hitting into his block, and then just counter you and you're dead. He does bonus, like instant bleed damage when he crits. In his NAFM phase, he can gain Furies per crit, which just stack up infinitely, it seems. So the more crits you're doing, the more Furies you're getting, and the more damage you're doing, plus the instant bleed, the bonus damage. Then you've got the evade as a safety net, and swashbuckling, I think, gives you either precision or cruelty, or maybe both. So yeah, it's actually surprisingly good on offense and defense. Deadpool X-Force is really good on offense. If you just run towards the opponent, and you build up to 10 stacks of, I can't remember what it's called, but then you throw a heavy attack and you have like 11 bleeds on the opponent, and yeah, just watch their health drop. It's insane. Same with, Rogue has lifesteal. She has power steal. Her lifesteal mechanic's really, really good actually as well. She hits quite hard, surprisingly. And I think she can steal effects if she's awakened from the opponent. So if the opponent has a regen and you use a special one, then you'll get a regen buff, I think, as well. So that's helpful. Namor, High Sig, or ideally Max Sig, can basically just reflect all damage that's done to him whilst he's attacking. So limbo damage is reflected. Any debuff you've got on you, like bleed, rupture, poison, it'll just reflect the damage. The opponent will take the damage. And then for certain nodes like Bane as well, if you're worried about taking too much damage, you can just play more aggressively, and not have to worry. Like if you're attacking into their block, they will start to take the degen damage instead of you. So that's really helpful. He's still really good. He's also really good for Penny Parker as well, because if you're hitting into her auto block while she's got her sync shield active, she's going to power burn you and deal damage to you. But if you're attacking her with Namor, you'll just reflect the damage back onto her, so that's really helpful. Wolverine X-23, bleed and regen, need I say more? She does so much damage. And then if she's in a bleed immune matchup, she just stacks up cruelty to a ridiculous level, and each cruelty passive, I think, increases her damage output as well, by a certain amount. Wolverine Weapon X, his unstoppable is incredibly annoying. He goes permanently unblockable for a certain amount of time, and in his frenzy mode, his bleeds and damage output is insane. Platpool is just weird. He's like, that's why I put him in mid tier. He's not quite L tier because he's not an L champion. He's decent. He's usable, right? But yeah, not many people use him anyway. He's quite hard to get. Same with Wolverine Weapon X rather. L tier, we got Psylocke. I know she's got power control. I know she's got burst damage, but her health is crap. Her block proficiency is terrible, and no one uses her because of all of the people that are here and here, right? There's so many better options than Psylocke that she's just gone in the bin. Basically, no one cares. Same with Old Man Logan. I guess he's useful with the Furies and the armor break, but that's about it. He's got basically no health. His regen's terrible. His block proficiency is terrible. His base damage output without Furies is just literally just nothing. So yeah, he's not great. Wolverine is decent. He needs synergies to be, and then if he's got synergies, maybe he's promoted to mid tier. But no one uses Wolverine anymore. Again, because of all of the others that replace him. So unfortunately, he's just an old champion that over time has just been pushed lower into the tiers. And he's in L tier, not quite meme tier. I don't think he'll ever reach meme tier, because meme tier is for like the terrible champions. And then we got White Magneto. The only thing that really saves him is his pre-fight. I was questioning whether to put him in mid tier because you always want him on the team against like Limbo or something, or someone who cleanses, because you can use a pre-fight and you apply passive stun instead of an actual stun on your parries. But no one uses him for his damage output, right? Or other utility. Then we got the meme tier. The Cyclopses, of course. Beast, of course. Mr. Sinister, I find completely useless. I do not like him at all. Gold Pool, like, really. An OG Deadpool as well. His regen's alright, but other than that, he's just not great. Let's move on, because I don't want this video to be like an hour. Right, so we've got here the Science class, right? So in Beyond God tier, we have Scorpion, who is very good with synergies, but doesn't need them. I was going to put with synergies with him because of Venom synergy, giving him a passive Fury every time he does a debuff on the opponent, damage over time, but he really doesn't need it. Spider-Ham, just insane power sting, pretty much like Scorpion. Thing with synergies is so broken. I've not used the synergies in ages, but he literally ends like Act 7 fights in like 3 combos. If you ramp him up properly, he's absolutely ridiculous. This guy is mad, but he does need a whole team to back him up, and he ideally requires Heimdall, who is kind of a waste of space on the team, I guess, because you're not really going to use him. We got Quake for obvious reasons. Photon, new champion this month. She needs to be high sig, but she's incredibly she's insane. She's like infinitely better than Captain Marvel movie. She does so much damage output. She prevents healing. I don't know what else to say. She's ridiculous. Spot as well when he's awakened. The amount of ruptures he puts on the opponent. The untouchable is incredibly annoying. It's unavoidable. Unless you have like Daredevil Classic, I think, or someone that bypasses miss, but even then, it's still annoying. And yeah, he's just ridiculous. He's very, very, very good. Silk came out last month. She needs to be high sig, but she auto evades pretty much everything. So you don't have to worry about being hit, and then her damage output's just ridiculous, right? So if you're not getting hit and you're hitting the opponent with a lot of base damage, you're just winning the fight, right? Same thing with Spider-Gwen. With synergies, ideally, because you want Penny Parker synergy to start out with 5 Spider Sense charges. You don't have to build them up every single fight with the special ones, and you want to have Venom with her so she can build up to 6. So she only needs 1 special one, and she has a max damage output right off the bat. She auto evades unblockable attacks, and she has Innovate as well. She has Slow, which is incredibly useful, bypassing Evade and Unstoppable. And then she has a Stun on the Special 2, which reduces the opponent's combat power rate as well, so you can just go ham whilst they're stunned. It's a really long stun as well. I think it's like 12 seconds, something like that. It's ridiculous. And then Special 3 does a burst of damage towards the end, and I think you get like a trap spider phase or something like that. Like you do bonus damage after every hit after the Special 3 for a certain amount of time, I believe. I don't use the Special 3 much, so I'm not sure about that one. But she absolutely destroys Juggernaut in Brutal DLX Challenge. Cassie Lang is pretty much the same thing as Scorpion and Spider-Ham, so I won't go over that. She does need to be awakened, I think. Overseer ideally wants to be awakened, but he's good on defense, and for the for like offensive capabilities, the awaken ability comes in because you get the retaliation after a special or heavy attack, and deal bonus damage when they throw a special or heavy, and you punish it. So he's got a lot of damage output. Immortal Hulk has immortality. I don't really need to say much else. OG Hulk, incredibly annoying on defense when he's awakened because he's got the Unstoppable after 15 Furies, and his damage output is ridiculous, and he's got an infinite stun chain. Captain America Infinity War with synergies, we all know about that. Really, I could put him in beyond God tier, but I think these guys are better than him, to be honest. Yep, Titania, again, invincibility, unstoppable and unblockable, quite regularly. Loads of debuffs, so incredibly good with Despair Masteries. Special 3, she can just spam heavy, get bonus damage. She has a falter. She puts a lot of weakness on the opponent, or fatigue, I can't remember which one it is. So yeah, and she can just tank special attacks. Anti-Venom, burst damage on the special 2, and after the special 2 when he has the Furies, if you ramp him up properly. Mortal Abomination, you've got the acid thing. You got the the acid poison, acid wash, I think it's called, which just melts the opponent. Excuse the pun. Quicksilver burst damage. I'm trying to go through it quickly so we don't spend ages here. Mr. Negative, and you can check this out in your own time. Mr. Negative, you got the degen damage. Jessica Jones has so much reduced damage on special attacks when she builds up her resistance up, and she's got so much utility, it's ridiculous. And Mr. Fantastic, Awakened with synergies. A lot of people know about him anyway, so I won't go over him too much. And then Human Torch. He doesn't need to be awakened, but it's nice to have. And he's just a cheat code for energy-based matchups or mystic matchups, which most of them are energy-based matchups anyway. Because the pre-fight with Nova Flame, it melts them. So we got onto mid-tier, we got Miles Morales. He's alright, but not amazing. He's alright in defense as well, but again, it's quite easy to counter him, just don't use a special attack. That's it. OG Spider-Man's alright after his buff. I don't know if he needs to be awakened or not, which is why I didn't put awakened, but he does still have the armor break and weakness of and the taunt when he's unawakened, so I don't use him too much, so I might need to get someone's opinion on that in the comments. We got She-Hulk for the slow and the Furies, Joe Fixit for the bleed and disorient. We got Wasp just for the damage, just pure damage. Red Guardian for the slow and trauma debuff on the special 2. Void, High Sig, we've known about him for ages. Incredible reverse healing when he's awakened and High Sig. He destroys Realm of Legends Wolverine like so quickly. We got Spider-Man 2099, the burst damage from the ruptures. Hulk Ragnarok is alright unawakened. He's better awakened, but he doesn't need it. He has really good base damage output, and he has stun mechanics. He's got unstoppable mechanics that are incredibly annoying still, even on defense. Sandman, I don't really have a clue if he's useful or not, but he seems to take quite a while to ramp up. So I've left him in mid tier, and we'll change it when I find out more. Invisible Woman, again, she's alright with a special 2 when you've got your sync charges, your invisibility charges, and obviously her invisibility is annoying on defense. Then L tier, I don't think I have to explain these ones, right? Ant-Man, Luke Cage, Yellow Jacket, MODOK and Red Hulk. Don't think I need to explain those. Same with meme tier. Electro, Captain America World War 2. That's classic Captain America, by the way. Sentry, OG Abomination, and Rhino. I forgot Rhino existed. I had to check in the game if there's someone I'd missed, and Rhino was the one that I'd missed. Moving on to skill. Beyond God tier, again, I don't think I need to explain these ones, except maybe Aegon. But Shang-Chi doesn't need to be awakened. High damage output. Aegon, once he's ramped up, he's insane. Agent Venom with synergies when he's awakened. He shrugs off everything, and he does so much bleed and incinerate damage, it's ridiculous. Nick Fury needs to be awakened for the second life, for the damage boost. Falcon, High Sig, he absolutely just shuts down evade matchups and just destroys them insanely quickly. Even then, he's got the increased crit chance and crit damage when he's got the locked on thing on the opponent, I think it is. I've not used him in ages, you can tell. Massacre, block damage. Valkyrie, block damage. And she can hit through. She literally hits through Unstoppable, which is insane. Jabari Panther can't be evaded or missed when she's in her Huntress phase. And she does so much bleed damage and cleanses everything. She's just really annoying on defense, and she's very good on offense. Mantis, special 2 damage. Spider-Man Stealth Suit for utility, and when he's awakened, and higher Sig, I suppose, but it doesn't need it. The potency of his Fury and Precision buffs are increased, which means he just hits harder. Kingpin shrugs everything off, does loads of damage. Black Widow, Deadly Origins, does loads of shock damage. Baron Zemo has the root and the bleed damage, and if they're bleed immune, he gains a Fury, which just increases his damage so much that he just takes out the fight anyway. Squirrel Girl, instant burst on the bleed damage. Gwenpool, infinite stun lock, very, very strong armor break on the special 3. She doesn't need to be awakened, but if she is, she can tank special attacks and she won't die. However, if the special attack applies like a bleed or something, then she'll die from that, right? Crossbones, high Sigs, just loads of damage and ability accuracy reduction. Atuma, awakened, he has the thorns on defense, and then he has ability accuracy reduction, and the more concussions he has on himself, the more damage he does. And Mole Man shrugs everything off and does loads of damage. Is just basically the same as Agent Venom. Elsa Bloodstone, I think you'd agree, is kind of mid-tier. Thor Ragnarok might even be L-tier now. I'm not entirely sure, but at high Sig, he's decent. Black Cat needs to be high Sig. Hitmonkey, Killmonger, awakened, is annoying on defense. Kate Bishop, don't think she's God tier just yet. Yeah, don't think she's God tier just yet. Ronan could even be L tier, to be honest. Taskmaster's very useful actually, in certain matchups, but not many people use him anymore, so I'm putting him in the mid tier or useful tier. They can be useful, but they're not used very often. Korg for defense, very annoying, but not great on offense. Blade, who's been overshadowed and just like forgotten about for ages, is still incredibly good on offense. His power gain, when they're close to the opponent and they're bleeding, the bleed damage he does is quite good. His danger sense is incredibly useful, and then when he's awakened, he gets regen whilst he's blocking. If he has power, Misty Knight's just annoying. That's it. Moondragon, that's decent, like damage on the heavy attack and the special attacks, I believe. L tier, I hate Kraven, so I put him in L tier. I won't be so mean as to put him in meme tier, but I really don't like Kraven. I just don't like the root mechanic, and I think he's really annoying. OG Black Panther has decent damage output, but no one really uses him. Maybe that will change with the 7-star selector that's coming end of this week, I believe, maybe. So yeah, he's alright, but kind of an L if you pull him from a feature crystal or something, you know. Night Thrasher, when he's awakened, it stacks up Furies quickly, but no one uses him, and his damage output isn't amazing. Same with Hawkeye, same with Karnak, same with Black Panther Civil War. Classic Daredevil is useful for certain matchups, like missed matchups and things like that, but needs to be awakened. I'm not even going to mention these. I don't need to explain. Okay, we got Mystics, so obviously Juggernaut, Doctor Doom, Tigra, Rintra, Wiccan, Longshot, Symbiote Supreme, Kindred, Absorbing Man, Black Widow Clairvoyant, and Spider-Man Supreme. Those are my Beyond God tiers. OG Scarlet Witch, Magic, Ebony Moore, America Chavez, Sasquatch, Dr. Voodoo, Hood, Mojo, Morningstar, Mordo, Dragon Man, Wong are my God tiers. As you can see, a lot of these need to be awakened or high Sig. So yeah. Take with that what you will. Take from that what you will, rather. Mid tier, Sorcerer Supreme, Thor Jane Foster, Mangog, Scarlet Witch, Sigil, Dormammu, Diablo, and Ghost Rider. I was tempted to put Dormammu up to God tier, but because he's not used very often, he's staying in mid tier for now. Man Thing was my first 6-star. Who I think I was initially excited to get, but then I tested him out and he did no damage. His poisons are terrible. His armor break helps a little bit, and the unstoppable waters, like during his heavy attack, lasts for like less than a second. It's ridiculous. Yeah, doesn't really have much utility either, except armor break immunity. Guillotine has alright damage, but very basic, old champion. Mephisto and Purgatory, and then Iron Fist, Immortal Iron Fist, Unstoppable Colossus, Doctor Strange, and Loki are just in meme tier because, well, they're just memes at this point, aren't they? Especially Loki. Oh my god. Beyond God tier for tech. This is tech now. So we got Penny Parker, Nimrod, Infamous Iron Man, Shuri, Shocker, Ghost, Viv Vision, Ant-Man, Future, Hulkbuster, and Lady Deathstrike. Those are all pretty self-explanatory. For God tier, Sentinel, I think he's still really, really good. He's got a lot of utility, got high crit resistance, so he's still annoying on defense. And he has a lot of... he has heal block, he has armor break, which increases his damage by quite a bit. And he has the Incinerator, which you can apply through block on the special 2, which just shred. And make a Sentinel, no explanation needed. Stark Spidey, yeah. Guillotine 2099, good champion, very good champion. Unfortunately, I think she's just been outshined by the Beyond God tiers here. Nebula takes too long, but it can one-shot with a parry, so that's mad. She doesn't even need to hit the opponent, right? Iron Man Infinity War, self-explanatory, same with Darkhawk and Kang. The rest of these I think are pretty self-explanatory, right? Rocket has increased damage after his buff. Ability XP reduction, healing, and damage through block for Hulkbuster. Locked On for Sam Wilson. Star-Lord's always been useful. Warlock's alright now, he's not amazing. Takes way too long to ramp up. Darkhawk after the special 3 is nice, but you have to get to special 3 first, and even then it just takes a while. And Labyrinth the Legends of Ultron, no one uses him, really. I'm not even going to go through the LT and the meme tier, because they're just, again, self-explanatory. And then we've got the Cosmic class, would you guessed it, Gallon's Beyond God tier. And so is Hercules, would you believe? We also have Cosmic Ghost Rider. Angela needs to be high sig. Gore needs to be awakened. Noel needs to be awakened ideally for defense. Gamora ideally needs to be awakened for potency and duration for the buffs. Hello needs to be... I think needs to be awakened. I don't know why I didn't put awakened there. But she needs synergies with Odin. And then Hulkling needs to be awakened. Then we have Odin for the damage. Venom, Hyperion, Adam Warlock, Cat Marvel Movie, King Groot, Chorus Slave, Medusa, and Vox. Vox is decent. The more buffs he has, the more damage he does, which is just the same for pretty much any other Cosmic. He's got degen damage, and his burst damage is quite nice. Anyone I need to explain in mid tier? Venom the Duck, outdated. So he's in mid tier. Terex, no one really uses him anymore, and he has clear counters now. Symbiote Spider-Man can infinitely stack armor breaks on the heavy attacks, and then crit with a special 2 in one shot. What about L tier? I don't think I need to explain any of these. Like Ronan, it's useful for some matchups, but still takes ages. Like Ronan is not up there with Hyperion or Gallon, right? So meme tier is self-explanatory. I don't need to go through that, right? So yeah, this is the tier list. I don't know whether it's like controversial or what you guys think about it. Do let me know in the comment section below. I will add this. I'll share it in the description, so you guys can access it and you can see where I'll put stuff. I'll try and update it monthly, but we'll see if I manage to. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this video, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more Marvel Contest of Champions content. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.